Hi, Louie. What's going on?
Nothing much. How are you, Luna?
Good. Where are we?
We're at Escolita nightclub in New York City in the heart of Times Square.
And what's happening tonight?
We're having our first ever LGBT and allied teen bash, trying to get the younger community to be involved and having fun and getting safe sex messages at the same time, because there is people here handing out condoms and promotion about safe sex and doing safe sex interviews.
Do you think that it's important to have safer sex messages at clubs and bars and places like that?
I think that clubs, bars, lounges, anything that involves people needs to have safe sex messages, because when people are under the influence, especially our younger generation, especially the children who are here tonight, especially ages 13 to 24, where the virus
But they're
is,
not under the influence, because
But-
they're teenagers.
well, they're not supposed to be. But I, honestly, and to be honest with you, I know that there's a lot of young people who can be under the influence at a younger age and who shouldn't be, who it's illegal to be under the influence at a younger age. But I know many young people who indulge in these things because they, may not have the right role modelship, or they might be not under the right leadership. And that's where some of these organizations that we work with in the city, come into play to give these messages to the young people, to be safe, to be protected, and to stay out of the influence.
So tell me, how does HIV affect you personally?
HIV affects me in a lot of ways. I have a lot of close friends and a lot of close family who have the virus, and some who I've lost to the virus over the years, and it really affects me to the point where I'm really protected myself. I don't like to have multiple sex partners at a time. If I'm in a relationship, I like to try and stay monogamous, only so that I know that both of us are safe. I usually like to go get tested with my sex partners if I know they're going to be long term, or if they're just short term, then I have the conversation with them in the moment versus not talking about it at all, because I think it's really important. And I know sometimes we slip and sometimes we forget, but it's always really important to use condoms. No matter what I've ever done, that is the most important thing to me. If there is not a condom in the room, it's not happening, because that's something that I feel that I would be giving up a part of myself and putting myself in danger, and I don't want to do that, and I wouldn't want to have to deal with something like that.
So without having a condom, like what else can you do?
You can give massages, you can mutual masturbate, you can do a bunch of different things that pleasure each other without making out, stuff like that. Just foreplay more than penetration.
So what do you think is needed as a whole to minimize HIV infection with people between the ages of 13 and 24?
I think continuing the message about safe sex is really important, and getting it out there to some of the crowds that may not be more open to it, and get them to really understand that it is something that can really affect your life in a lot of different ways, and to have people who maybe are more knowledgeable about it, or people who are infected, speak to these younger people and get them to understand that it's not a joke. It's really not a joke. We've lost so many people in this community to the virus, and we don't need to lose any more, especially our young generation, because they're the ones coming up behind us doing the work that we're doing now, in the LGBT community, doing these prevention messages, doing, these interviews and doing this stuff to get the word out there, and to breed them to be able to do that when they're older and still be able to do that because they're not, infected. They're safe, they're playing safe, they're acting safe, they're not under the influence, and they're leading safe and healthy lives.